Okay, welcome to Team Three's mastermind call on, I think it's our fourth session now. So congratulations for being here. Congratulations for showing up. Congratulations for continuing to do what you are doing with the learning, with the implementing, with the taking action. We get mixed results from different people. Some people are getting great results, other people not getting so good results. And I am determined to find out why. With people in general, what gets some people having success? Why do some people quit? Why do some people give up? Why do some people never show up? Why do some people get phenomenal results? And I really don't know what it is, especially if people not everybody takes action. I think that's one of the things. So it's an interesting process, and I'm committed to figuring out how to help everybody. I was talking on the last group. I can charge. I've got some clients and some coaching clients that I've that in the past invested anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000 for coaching, for one-on-one coaching, and they showed up for like 2 of the calls, and then I never heard from them again. And it's just it's frustrating, really. I'm not. Yes, this is the money is great and that, but at the same time, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to make a difference and to help make sure that people take action, because I know the system that we have works. We know the power of it, and seen a lot of people get some phenomenal results from it. But it's figuring out why some people, I can't control other people, unfortunately. And it's very interesting. So, I'm not just doing this for the money. It's because I actually truly care, and I want to make sure that people are getting the results and getting what they paid for ultimately. But at the same time, I can't do it for people. So you do, and you'll figure this out as you do coaching, as you do training and work with other people in your groups, etc. So we are into the third 10-day sprint, or it's the fourth with the prepare and practice, but the third, which is connecting with prospects. And again, this is more about making friends with people on Facebook or social media. There's 2 different types. There's the people that are outside of your group and the people that are inside of your group. And the goal ultimately is to have people come into you, so you don't have to take the time to go to all these people, add them as a friend, say, hey, what are you doing? Obviously, that takes time. So the more groups that you're in, the more value that you're posting, the more people engage on your content, the more people add you as a friend, and then the posture changes and just makes it easier to persuade and influence somebody rather than you going to them. But when you first get started, you have to go to other people. You have to approach them first, because there's not many options other than that to start with. Gradually, you can reverse it, so it becomes more of attraction-based marketing. So what we'll do is we'll do what we normally do and open it up to any specific questions, but we'll go with what little wins you've had this week, anything you've struggled with or challenges, any questions, and anything that you'd like to achieve for the next week. Let me just bring Mary Lynn on. So let's go with Neil, I think. How's your week been, Neil?
Right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. Well, I've got to 64 members, so still plodding along nicely.
Awesome.
I'm doing all of the goals. I haven't really missed any. I'm doing something every day, even when I was away for the weekend. I managed to sort of schedule posts and get back in time just to do at least an hour on Facebook and things. I guess I know if I spend sort of 3 or 4 hours on Facebook groups, I can get members. Mm-hmm. And I did that one day and got 8 or 9 members join. But then I find I'm spending more time on content, and I'm getting a lot more engagement now in the group, which is really good. And I'm getting some really long dialogues going, and people are really interested. I sort of feel that I'm going to run out of content and good ideas, but they're still coming at the moment. But
yes,
one of the things I worry about I'm covering all the good bits, and then what happens when I've covered all that? Where do I go next? But I know, get through that. No, it's going well, plodding along. Always like it to go quicker than it is.
Yes.
It's always slow to begin with, isn't it? Then the momentum kicks in, and then it
explodes. Yeah, and unfortunately, it's one of those things that you just don't know how long it's going to take. It's not something you can say, right, tomorrow it's going to work. One thing that once you've got an audience and you've developed an audience with the value that you've created over a period of time, you've spoken to some of those people, you've had some one-on-one conversations, maybe you've picked up the phone to a few of those people, and you've built some relationships. When you do a launch of something, you do a 5 or 7 day launch where there's a specific purpose at the end of it. So it's content, launch something. So maybe you promote a product for that week. Maybe you do an application that people submit an application to do a 30-minute strategy call with you, and then you speak to them and recommend something on the call. Or whether you sell your own coaching. It's always done whenever I do it, just like I did with the academy, I built up to it gradually. So I posted some content, got some engagement, and then launched something. So everybody's watching at that point. They're watching to see what's coming. They know something exciting is coming. Everybody's committed. They're engaged. They're part of the process. But what I found is most of the people that tend to join tend to be the people that I've got the best relationships with, tend to be the people that I've had conversations with, personal conversations. So yeah, I mean, it is literally, I posted something that the guy from Entrepreneur on Fire, he does a podcast I think it's the biggest entrepreneurial podcast in the world, something that he posted. I don't know if you saw the post, but it's a blog post that I'd shared an email that he wrote. And if you get time, have a look at it. But he'd said something like, people talk about automation, they talk about leverage, they talk about scaling your business up quickly. But almost everybody that bought his product that he launched recently is people that he's had a conversation with at some point, whether it's replying to an email, whether it's sending a private message, whether it's speaking on the phone, but had just some kind of personal interaction or conversation with. And if you can do that with just a small group of people to start with, then that audience grows, and that audience grows, and that audience grows, and that audience grows. But it is just getting people on side with you till they trust you, essentially, and you become a trusted advisor.
Yeah.
I'll answer the content question in a second if you'd like, the running out of content.
Yeah, just before, so at the beginning you were saying about why people quit and things like that. I think sometimes, I could be wrong, but it's the not knowing what's in the future. Like if you knew, if you did this for a year, this would be the outcome, you wouldn't have the certainty.
Yes.
Going. I think it's that element of doubt.
Yes.
Which is why these groups are good, because you've done it and you can say, follow this and you'll get there. It helps keep you motivated.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's fear and doubt, definitely, and uncertainty, lack of belief, lack of worthiness as well. It's definitely. So yeah, I appreciate that, and it's interesting. I mean, most of the people have stayed with the process, and I'm amazed at how many people are going through the process and they're committed. And the thing is, that's one of the big things, is celebrating the small little wins along the way. A lot of people, they talk about, this 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month, and everybody's kind of aspiring to that. But what they don't realize is there's a little step, every single step. You've got to create content first. Once you've done it, that's a win. That's a skill that you've learned. Then you've got to generate leads. You can't just make 10 grand a month without generating leads. So even your first lead is a win. And I think it's just, it's just building that up in people so they can see that they're making progress every day.
You can grow things really quickly. I mean, I've got Instagram account with nearly 6,000 followers, but I don't know, they're not good quality, like I would in my, probably my 60 Facebook group, are more high quality and more engaged.
Yes.
So
yeah, and there's a lady in the network marketing or the attraction marketing industry, Diane Hockman, and she's got a list of. She had a list of 4,000 or 5,000 people, which compared to some people of 20, 30, 50, 100,000 people, she makes 5 times more money than some of those people with the small little group, because she's got a better relationship with those people. So you don't necessarily need a massive group to make a significant amount of money. It's just identifying a group of people that have got a problem and solving that problem. Yeah, with the content creation, you could, one way to do it is kind of a 10 by 10 matrix. If you just get a piece of paper and write, 10, draw 10 columns, probably an A4 piece of paper, but going horizontal. So draw the columns down like that, and then put 10 topics that you could talk about or that you could learn that's related to your niche or your area. So, if it's blogging, it could be content creation, could be one topic. And within that, then you could put 10 elements of content creation. So you could put Facebook Lives, you could put writing articles, you could put audios, podcasting. There's you don't necessarily have to know everything right now, but and then the next column you'd put generating traffic, for example, and then you could put a number of things of generating traffic. Then the next column you could put plugins, and then you could put like 10 plugins or 10 plugins that could help people that you could write about. Then you could put products like blogging products and resources related to blogging, and then you could put monetization. How do you monetize your blog? And you could put 10 ways to monetize every single one of those topics. There's 100 topics now on your page. That's basically 100 pieces of content that you could write about. For me, with network marketing, it would be, I've got 10. I've created what was the 6-step sponsoring sequence, which is now elaborated to the 10 core skills: create, capture, connect, comment, communicate, close, invite, present, follow up, and duplicate. So there's 10 topics that I teach. So I can create content on every single one of those, and I'll never run out of content with that. Because, and also when you're speaking to your audience and you're having a conversation with them, they'll tell you what they're looking for, and they'll help you fill in that grid and that matrix as well.
Yeah, I've been asking those questions. It does help.
Yeah. And if you're getting some engagement, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. I think I just need a little bit more structure as well. So I'm kind of going, oh, that's an interesting blog post when I'm, looking, researching. Or blog about that next, or I'll add content on that. It's a bit random. I think I need a bit more structure.
Yes.
So I've got to do 1 week of one subject, next week of another subject.
Yeah,
sounds like a good idea.
A theme for the week or something like that seems to work pretty well. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because I've been similar. Sometimes you'll find a piece of content and you want to write about it now. You want to share it now. There's a website called Trello, Trello.com. If I'll just show you quickly on my screen. I haven't filled it out as I haven't filled it out properly yet, but I'm in the process of doing it. Let me just see if I can share it. Yeah, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a free tool. I've just got, and I haven't stuck to this yet, but this is my ideal. This is what I'd like to do. And I've got 6 pieces of content that I post each day, but for you'd only have 2 at the moment, and ideally probably 2. That's all you need. I've just got a few other things that I'm doing as well. But so I've got 6 a.m. morning motivation, 9 a.m. a theme, for the week. So I've got for the day, which is Motivation Monday or Tribe Tuesday or Wins Wednesday or Thankful Thursday, Friendly Friday, etc. 12 o'clock share blog post, 3 o'clock short tip about weekly focus topic, 6 p.m. share a resource, and then 9 p.m. an evening inspirational quote or a video or something like that. And what you can do is inside of each little, so I've got the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then if you click on each of the cards, you can add a comment, you can add images, you can add links. So you could, if you get a bit of when you get a bit of time, let's say once a week, you could also have like a scratch pad or something where any ideas that you get, you just post in the comments. You know, here's a link to the blog post that you've just found that you want to write about, or a resource that you've just found, or an image that you like the look of that you want to share. And then just, you know, at the end of the week or the next time you create your content or plan your content, you can kind of come back to this and pull it up. But that might help.
Yeah, sounds good. Just
keeping it organized. But it's something that I battle with a bit myself, because as an entrepreneur, I'm quite ideas all the time.
Yeah, the structure. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Any little wins that you've had? Just mostly that you've been getting some good comments.
Yeah, good engagement. And just having a community. What else did I put? And just managing to post every day. I haven't missed a day yet.
Awesome. Brilliant.
And post.
Have you been scheduling now as well?
Scheduling?
Or scheduling with the automated scheduling software? Like if you, or have you just been posting
I do
it manually?
with my Instagram and Pinterest. So all my feeder sites, but not with Facebook. Facebook group I do manually.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think that's the best if you can, because I think more people see the content when you post manually than if you use Hootsuite or something like that.
Yeah. You were sharing something about whether Hootsuite goes negatively against you, or?
I think there's pros and cons for it. I think it's worth. I mean, some of the big group owners use it, and there's a lot of customers that they've got for scheduling content and automating. Yeah, scheduling it mostly.
Yeah.
But I do think that less people see the posts. If somebody's in your group, they'll see the post. But if they're, from what I've seen so far, and I may be wrong on this, but normally when I post in the Networking Superstars group, anybody if you're active in the group, if you've been in there before, you'll see a notification that Gavin Mountford just posted in Networking Superstars. I don't think when I post through Hootsuite, people get that notification.
Okay.
So they don't know there's a post there. It's worth experimenting with.
All right. Just one quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm just focusing on content, building the audience, building the traffic. Is that okay? I'm not even thinking about monetizing yet.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the best course of action? Or when do you start to think about right now how to create some money? Like, is it at 200 members or 1,000 or
no? No specific number. The closing part I'll cover more in the 6th 10-day sprint. So another month essentially. One thing I've experienced is if you build a community, or I've got a good idea for you as well in a sec. If you build a community and you don't try to monetize early enough, it can be tricky monetizing because people have resistance to it later. You know, I built a community called Tribe Syndication Association, TSA, about 4 or 5 years ago, and we had probably about 500 members, and we had a lot of active people. And as soon as we introduced an opportunity, everyone was like, "What are you doing? This is a free community. I'm not interested. Stop trying to sell me on stuff." But if I'd have done it earlier on and just gradually, just a little bit here and there, it would have been it would have been a lot easier. People would have, it's part of the culture essentially, and at the time monetization wasn't part of the culture, so people resisted it. So there's no hard and fast rules. It's once you've got, you'll make money once you've got people who see you as a trusted advisor generally, and you'll be able to monetize in many different ways, opportunities, selling products, helping people. I mean, if you teach people how to set up a blog and you become an affiliate for GoDaddy or HostGator, something like that, you can earn something like $50 for every time, $50 for each person you refer that buys the hosting package. So you could create a little, eventually you could create a 7-day mini course that teaches people how to set up a blog and install a few plugins. And then under that, you could have some paid plugins or a couple of programs to monetize. Day 1 could be installing your blog. Day 2 could be setting up your theme. Day 3 could be, adding plugins. Day 4 could be monetization. Day 5 could be blogging course. And, you could, so you're not, so you're monetizing it, but you're not pushing it in people's faces. So there's value around the monetization. Okay.
Because on my website, I've got a step-by-step guide. And I've got the first 4 steps to financial freedom.
Oh, cool.
And I'm just keep going. I'll try and do one every week, and just sort of plug Wealthy Affiliate Program, Aweber, that sort of thing. So eventually, as people go through the course, they get things for their business, and yeah, that's sort of the only way I'm kind of monetizing at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And what you may want to do later is also get them to enter their email address somewhere so you can capture the lead, which you do that already.
Yeah,
but then deliver the course. You could essentially take the same content that you've got on your blog, 7 posts, let's say, and you could package it up into a ebook or a like a password protected members area kind of thing, so people feel it's a bit more special. And just let people go through it in a linear fashion rather than a kind of blog.
So that's my next kind of thought process. I was going to create a little course on either Instagram or Pinterest, how to build an audience. And I was going to give it away to members of the group for free as like a trial and get feedback. I wanted it password protected on the website. Think that's good, or do you think I should start trying to charge straight away?
Well, when you charge for something, it's selling something for $7 or even $1 is just as hard as selling something for $97 or $197. To a certain degree, you've still got to get somebody to take their wallet, their card out of their pocket and pay for something. And if it's your course, then you've got, to a certain degree, you've either got to have a very, very, very small, tight-knit niche that you're the only person that's got what they want, or you've got to have a lot of credibility. So testimonials, feedback, results. So you might want to have a group of people that go through the course, get some results, give you some feedback for free, and then charge for it later. But that's where the marketing skills really kick in. Then the copywriting, the funnel, all that kind of stuff. It's sometimes it's easier to promote affiliate products than your own stuff to start with if you're going to charge for it, just because a lot of the affiliate products are already proven to convert. They've got upsells in place. You probably end up making more money that way than you will selling your own stuff to start with. But ultimately you just got to try it and see what happens, because I might tell you one thing and for you might find something that works really well, and it may do really, really well for you.
Okay, thanks.
Cool, very good stuff. It sounds like you're doing some great things. Cool. All right. So let's move on to Lynn.
Hey there, Gavin.
Hey, Lynn.
It's been a really cool week, actually.
Has it?
Really, really good. Yeah.
Good.
I think I've really been focusing on the attraction marketing. So because I was finding that it was taking so long. I was going and talking to people and bringing them into the group rather than using more of the attraction marketing side. And yet I'm talking about attraction marketing in the group. So it didn't really, it didn't work. So I've really been trying to focus on the attraction marketing and gone into several groups. I have brought people into the group through attraction marketing, which has been really, really cool. I joined in one group and we actually had a meetup network marketing meeting today, which was brilliant. And all of those people have come into the group because they know nothing about working on Facebook, which was brilliant, very exciting stuff. The thing that I'm really looking for is, I think the content is going quite well. I'm getting a lot of comments on the content, although it's generally the same people that are commenting, engaging. All of the people that I've had telephone conversations with, like you say, they're the ones that really come into your kind of, or what's the word, sorry, your circle of, how do you say, influence. Yeah. So the ones you've actually had a conversation with and you're on a personal level almost, are commenting, they're engaging, which is brilliant. I've tried to go back, and I think as Laura was saying the other day, to people who have come into the group, never really participated. There's nothing. It's kind of like a gone prospect, someone you've spoken to and they vanish. So I've been focusing on getting new people, really building that rapport with them, and trying to get onto the telephone with them or text with them. And that's working really well. I think where I'm stuck now is transferring that. Again, it comes down to okay, how am I monetizing this? I have been speaking to people about MLSP.
Say that bit again, sorry. You're a little bit quiet, so I'm just, I don't know why it's quiet, because you're normally quite...
Sorry.
That's all right. Just that last little bit about the monetization.
So I have been speaking to people about MLSP and how it can generate leads for them, and really showing them what I've done, and that I am generating income from this. But it still feels really uncomfortable. I don't know what it is about monetizing the group that makes me feel uncomfortable, but I know that I need to do that. And it may be what you said with kind of, I think, group now. And it feels like it's been a long time. And it's kind of strange to monetize it now. Does that make sense? I think there's a delay as well.
Yes, I think if I just caught, because you broke up a little bit there as well. So I think what you said at the end is it's you feel uncomfortable with monetizing still for some reason. You've been speaking to people about MLSP, and it feels a bit weird to try to monetize the group now after a long time. Yeah,
I think it's become the culture where everything has been free and gifts, and there's so much value in the group. Honestly, it's just, a lot of the things I've done recently have been like a rewrite of the 6 steps. So it's really, things that have allowed me to build my business online. It's things that are allowing me to actually work on Facebook. So if anyone put any of this information implemented it, they'd be doing really well.
Yes.
So it's kind of, it deserves to be monetized now, but it's that awkward feeling still.
The interesting thing with the group that I worked with previously, when it was Robin, when it was Nicole, when it was Hannah, when it was Laura and Sarah and a few others, everyone did the same as what you guys are doing at the moment. You know, build an audience, get some engagement, create some content, have conversations, build some relationships. And then what we did was we did a launch for something, and I think it was a launch for the 6 steps at the time. And they invited people to a webinar. I did a webinar. I sold some copies of the 6 steps. They made commissions, and they monetized. And we did that with 2 or 3 different things. I think we launched Mark Harbert's No Fear video marketing system, and we launched the 6 steps. We did the 10-10 network marketing challenge. We also launched focus groups for our network marketing business at the time, and it all did really well. Some people got some really good results. Other people didn't necessarily get so good results, but they monetized nonetheless. And so what we're going to do in 2 or 3 weeks' time is we're going to do like a mini launch for the 6 steps. I'm going to do a webinar, and what I ideally would like to happen is for people to become ambassador first, so to have 100 members in their group, to have at least 1 post with 10 comments on it, and to have gone through 6 weeks worth of 6 steps, so ambassadors can promote the webinar. And it'll be more of the way that we've done it before is private invite. So it's been private messaging the people that are in our group that we've got a relationship with, and inviting them to the webinar personally, and then getting those people onto the webinar. And you'll probably find at that point you'll monetize in some way. One thing that I'm going to figure out how to do as well is, we did it before. We had a specific process in place where the 6-step sponsoring sequence is priced at $997, but ambassadors have a coupon code that they can offer to their members, so they can get it, so their members can get it for $297 instead of $997. And we've also got like a 3-pay option, which is something like I forget exactly what it is now. So there's an option to monetize using the 6 steps. Also, I pay you directly, instantly into your PayPal account. So it's like instant pay. So if you sold, and Neil as well, and anybody else, if you can tie it in with the 6 steps, you can make $150 pretty much selling a copy of the 6-step sponsoring sequence if you sell it for $297. And you get that directly into your PayPal account, and then can withdraw that money. So MLSP, you can obviously monetize with the trial. Often it comes down to people not having the money to invest in something. That can be, yeah.
When we're talking, I'm just going from my experience. I looked at MLSP probably about 4 years ago, and I had no idea. And a lot of the thing has been, because you're working on my target market was kind of novice, because that's where I am, and I'm learning a lot more, and I'm probably more advanced than people in the group. But you're looking at novice people, so when they look at MLSP, they don't see the value in it. And especially in those 10 days, there's not enough time for them to see the value in it. I feel, I don't know if I'm wrong on this one. So what I've tried to do with the MLSP, I've offered the 10 days, but I've also focused on the 30 days. So there's a whole 30-day stretch where I can actually help somebody more see the value into MLSP and get them involved in the calls, their community.
Well, it's getting them to use the tools as well. And the problem with MLSP, and I love the platform. I've been part of it for 5 or 6 years. I've promoted it. I've been to the events, etc. as well. But for a lot of people, certainly network marketers, they're just not ready for the technology, and there's a lot of it can be quite overwhelming and quite confusing for a lot of people, and the retention rate for a monthly payment for a lot of people is quite low. Any monthly continuity program that somebody spends money every month, unless it's something like this where there's personal attention as well, it can be quite low. So you get somebody in for a month or a couple of months and they drop out because they're not getting the results, because it's too hard, because the technology. So this is you know, the exact reason that I created the high touch, the high tech, the high profit process, you know, 3 phases where people start with the basic steps, the 6 steps, the personal connections, the relationship building. Then once they get good at that, like you guys are doing now, getting good, going through the what is now the 10 core skills, then we start to look at the automation, the you know, the sales funnels, the capture pages, the traffic, the paid traffic. But I think and you know, I'm not, there's definitely a place for MLSP still, but I feel people have got to be educated first. They've got to understand why they're doing it before they get to that point. So you know, it may be worth, because you've got some experience with the 6 steps, you know, there's value there. You know, you know it works. You've got some results yourself. You've seen it work for other people. You'll probably find that you can recommend people to that wholeheartedly, whereas recommending something like MLSP, it's almost trying to push a square peg into a round hole, and it just doesn't quite feel right. So then it becomes harder to recommend to people because you know, maybe you haven't used it to its full potential, or you know, maybe, you know, often it becomes selling it for the sake of selling it to you know, to get the money. That, I know that's what a lot of people go through. So it's just a thought, and one of the reasons I created this process.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and you can see the feedback. People aren't getting it, they just aren't understanding it, and without that education, as you say, they're not going to. So I think a lot of last week I focused a lot on the 6 steps, because one of my goals is to get 2 ambassadors from the group, and it really works very, very well. People are really interested in the 6 steps.
Mm-hmm.
It converting into a purchase, we've yet got to see, but you know, they've actually seen it. They're seeing the power of it and starting to implement and using the free kind of version that we give.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping there'll be a lot of results there, and I think that is the middle. So it's coming online, it's learning the six steps, and then it's progressing to MLSP. And I can see the value in all of it and how it all links together. It's brilliant, and it's just keeping on with the content, with the engagement. I think that was a mistake that I would say I made at the very beginning of the group. It was lack of engagement and lack of engaging posts, because really I didn't know how to do that. So that's one thing of advice I would give to anyone. Make sure you're getting that engagement really early on.
Great.
So all in all, it's been brilliant. Thank you, Gavin.
Good, no, pleasure. And we'll figure out the monetization part as well, and with the 6 steps. And I know that I need to make the process a bit easier, because you know, if I price, it's one of those things, I can either price it at $297, but then it doesn't really, I don't feel the values shown there. I think, you know, I honestly truly believe it's a, you know, a $997 value course that people have purchased at that price before. And what we did was people would fill out an application form to get their scholarship, and then we'd forward the applications on back to the ambassadors. So let's say you'd referred somebody to Networking Superstars, they'd filled out a form, they said Lynn Said had completed the form, and so Lynn had referred them, then I'd forward it to you, you'd do a call with them, and you would then sell the 6 steps to them, but you give them a scholarship code, a discount code, so they could pick it up for $297 instead of $997. And all of a sudden it's a massive bargain. You know, people were buying that all the time. So I'll get that application set up again as soon as I can for the scholarships. And what you could do yourself, and anybody else if you'd like to, if you remind me, if you can at some point soon, I can send you the application form so you can see the layout of it. And if you want to create your own application, you can, and just get people to submit the application form. Then you get on the phone with them, ask them a few questions, approve them for the 6 steps, and then sell it for $297. So then you're not waiting for me to set the application form up again. You can do it with your own application form using some free software if you want to. So if you remind me to send you the application form, I'll send it you over so you can have a look at it.
That's great. Thank you.
Cool. Hopefully that made sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that may have been the way that you came in the first place. I'm not sure. Somebody did a call with you.
I think it was in the launch you were talking about, like the 10 by 10, all of those. That's when I was looking for working online and how to do it. And I came across all of those. I think I bought all of them, including the Mark Harbert. And I think I came into 6 steps through the Mark Harbert launch. So I bought that and then got the 6 steps. And the whole thing is amazing. You're absolutely right. It is worth. It really is worth the top amount of money. It definitely is. So yeah, that would be brilliant. Can I just ask you really stupid question? But the coupon code, what is that? Is it something that we apply for, or something that?
I just need to give it to you basically, and I've got it set up in the back office, and you can, once you've got the code, I think it's something like the code is something like scholarship 700, something like that. So basically when your customer or your prospect enters that code in the checkout, the shopping cart, they get $700 discounted off the price. So it's a pretty big deal for a lot of people.
It is a huge deal. It's brilliant.
I need to bring back the application. I'll make a note on my 50th piece of paper. But remind me again. Application. Because it worked really well, and for some reason we stopped doing it for a while. Cool, good stuff. All right, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you sharing. I just want to check with Amizicam if you can hear me, and if you did want to come on, because I know you'd been waiting since the last call. Let me just try and unmute you. Yeah, can you speak? You're unmuted, Amizicam, if you want to speak. No, something must be going on with your microphone, unfortunately. Yeah, if you look at the very bottom left of your computer, there's or whatever it is you're using it on, there's a little button that says mute or unmute, and next to that should be an arrow. If you click on that arrow, there should be a pop-up window appear, and you can select a microphone to use. If you do, assuming you can hear me, if you do have questions, if you can't get on, please just post in the group, and I'll answer you as soon as I can. Because it sounds like you've got a few challenges with the microphone today. It may be worth just getting hold of a copy of Zoom, the software that we're using, and seeing if you can have a chat with somebody else just to see if you can test the sound before we do next week's call, because I definitely want you on the call so I can help guide you. But it seems like there's a bit of an issue at the moment. Keep trying, and we've got 15 minutes or so, so hopefully we can get it working. Sonia or Mary Lynn, who would like to come on next? Put your hand up. No one minds. All right, then. That doesn't make it any easier for me. All right, well, I'm not sure who was on first. I'll go with Mary Lynn, and then I'll bring Sonia on if that's all right. Yeah, cool. Hey. You got the mute button. There you go.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, I've been away in France for a week, so I struggled with internet connections and things like that. But my goal was to try and get my head around content. And I spoke to Lynn and did WhatsApp and things like that. And I think I've now realised what I need to do and how to do it. And so that to me is although it's a tiny little thing really, it's something that's really helped me, and I now know what I'm going to post with content. Six steps, as Lynn was saying, that to me would keep one going for years in content almost. There is so much
yes.
there. And breaking it down into tiny little, into little bits. One thing I wanted to ask was, would you do perhaps a basic content. And then if somebody wanted more, not where it says see more, but if you feel you could do with some more, to do a bit more of this, then look at my other post in info or somewhere like that, like put it in a folder or a file. I'm not thinking of this instant straight away. I need to get better at doing what I'm doing. But it just occurred to me, would you do that sort of for the somebody who's perhaps a little bit more advanced and wants to learn a bit? Or is that not something to?
Yeah, I mean, there's no rules to it, and there's no right or wrong. I think ultimately try it, see what happens. So longer posts that you've created. I mean, that's one reason I've got the blog that I've got now, so I can send people back to the blog and they can look through all the old articles and things like that. I guess another way is to get people to message you or comment if they want more information. You could put under some posts, I've created a 7 days 7-day mini course where I've put the content from a lot of my best posts in a email sequence or a password protected blog or a PDF document, and give it a name, give it an exciting name. You got 7 days worth of your best posts in a PDF document, and use it as a free giveaway, and just get people to comment or message you if they want it. Just an idea, something you could do, or you could just leave it, put it in the file section if you wanted to. You probably find you'll get more benefit if you make people want it rather than just let them have it.
Yeah, no, I think that once you started saying that, I could see, yes, that's the way to do it, because that's getting people to engage and
yes.
With it, and you're showing that there is something more if they want it, but they need to say, yes, I would like this. No, that's a much better idea than putting it in.
I'll show you something that I did the other day. Let's see if I can share it on here. On the and this should be beneficial for everybody. One thing that I did was on the Networking Superstars blog, and I think most people replied to this, but I created a blog post for free guided meditations for you, and I created that in the morning, and I thought I could just post this now, and I could just post a link to it in the group, and people can go to it and watch it and get access to it. Or what I could do is just one sec. What I could do is, because I wanted to get some more engagement in the group and on my profile. Interesting, going very slow. So and you probably saw it, and I'm just showing you stuff that you've already seen, but it's good to hear it, I think, as well. Don't even know where it's gone now.
I know you asked me, had I seen it? You sent me a message or a Facebook or a WhatsApp, either a WhatsApp or a message to say had I seen it, and I thought I'd replied, but I wasn't absolutely certain. So it was nice that I'd had an extra thing saying, "Have you actually seen this?" And I'm saying, "Oh yes, definitely." So that it is, people do appreciate.
Well, and it was this literally, and I did this on my fan page, on my profile, and in the group, and I just put, who here has ever meditated or tried to meditate before? I'm just putting together a page with 4 free meditations if you'd like access. They're 15 minutes long, perfect for any time of the day. Just let me know in the comments below, and I'll send them over when it's done. Well, I'd already created it as a blog post. Anybody could get access to it at any point. But this post got 21 comments. The one on my profile got around 20 comments, and the one on the fan page got around 20 comments. So 60 people wanted this. Mostly 60 people wanted it. These people actually I haven't been through yet, but well, yeah, you do end up giving yourself a little bit of extra work, unfortunately. I often do. 60 people, I then got a private message Or I could just post about it in the group and say, here's the post, go check it out. Here's the meditation for anybody who wanted it. But what I did on my fan page, because it's the more engagement you can get, the more people you can get commenting, the more people you can have an interaction with, the better. So I basically, let's see if I can find it again. Hopefully it's just here. I replied to every person. Why can't you find something when you want it? 2 seconds and I'll... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I basically replied to every person saying, hey, I just emailed you. Hey, Fiona, I just sent you a message about this. Hey, Candice, I just messaged you about this. Hey, Marianne, I just emailed you about this. So I basically had sent a message to each person. And I'd said messages. So I sent a private message. Hey, Dominique, how you doing? I'm just getting around to sending the full meditations out to people now. You commented on this post a few days ago. Did you still want me to send you the link to the meditations? Many thanks, Gavin. So rather than me just sending it to them instantly and saying, here it is, I actually got them to commit again because it's another touch point. It takes longer to do, but the interaction, the engagement, the credibility, the know, like, and trust factor just gets increased because people, the more you can get people to come to you and be qualified every step of the way, the better. And I've, every person I just haven't got around to sending it to everybody, but when I send it, that'll be another touch point. So it's pretty powerful. So yeah, so it's just a good strategy to get engagement, and then to private message them, to check that they still want it, and then to give it to them. So you could do that with the report or the PDF.
Yeah, and I'm just continuing to friend people and get it slow, but it's coming along. I will up the number of people now that is there a limit to the number of people? I know Facebook, if you go and you try and friend lots of people in a short amount of time, will they come down and ask what you're doing?
If you do it like a robot, and if you do it in a small time frame and you do the same message, then yes, I would say go for 5 to 10 maximum. And within a couple of days, if they haven't responded to your friend request, just cancel the friend request, pending friend requests. And this week's content will be pretty good because it talks about the making connections. And
started listening to some of that. I was
oh, cool, good. So you've got access to it. Great.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good stuff.
I can say I've got access to it. Yes.
Fantastic.
When I got back in, I didn't realise the time, so it was on here straight.
Cool, good. Well, keep up the great work, and obviously keep me informed. Let me know how you're getting on, and also pay attention to the blog this week as well, because I'm going to be posting more information about content creation, which will give some people some great ideas. It's obviously, I'm doing this for free to other people to attract more people to me, so then we can sell more 6 steps and more academies. But it'll complement exactly what you've been through. You're going to be kind of 4 weeks ahead of the content that I'm creating inside of on the fan page and blog. So this will now recap over the content creation for 10 days, and then if that makes sense.
Yes.
Cool, good. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And let's move on to Sonia.
Hello.
Hey, yeah.
Hi. Well, you know what? I have been, well, I'll get right to it. I'll tell you what my challenge is, because I've been trying to figure it out. I have groups on Facebook, and I have a personal page, and there are times when I put content up there. And can you hear me well?
I can hear you.
Okay. And I put content up and I get responses. So I've kind of gotten past the, I guess, the hesitation of wondering whether or not I will get people to respond to me. So I guess my challenge is, how do I schedule engagement time? I guess really, I don't schedule time with people. It is, I don't feel like I'm overwhelming them with response. What feels still like they're coming to for information. I haven't been able to figure out yet how to the conversation going without feeling as though I am trying to get them to talk.
Is this private messages or is this through comments?
Well, it's through comments and through private messaging. For instance, say I put up some information, some of my video I put up, and I get 5 responses on it. And so then I engage with the people. But I'm just not sure whether to start it and talking, having a conversation or chatting with them on my page right at that time, or is it better to wait a little while to talk to someone? Since my time is limited, I'm trying to figure out, should I like week and respond to people, or should I just try to get in as much conversation as much as possible?
Yeah.
And that's where I've been having a little problem. So I've been hesitating to engage more because I don't want people to feel as though I'm talking to them and then I have to stop, and then it's like hours go by or days will go by, and it just feels like the continuity is not there. So I've been hesitating to put up content because it gets responses. It's sort of like, it's sort of not really, make people feel like you're ignoring, not giving them the kind of attention that they're looking for.
Okay, cool. Let me just answer that whilst I've got the thought in my mind still. No, I completely resonate with that, and I guess one thing some people teach and talk about to do, if you're there in front of your computer at that time, is to schedule 5 or 10 minutes every hour or every couple of hours. If you're working on your computer and you're doing it full time, let's say, do your work for 50 minutes, shut out everything out, eliminate all distractions, focus on one thing, writing your content or doing what you need to do for 50 minutes and get it done without the distractions. So you've completed that. And then, 5-10 minutes, reply to comments, reply to messages. So you've got 5 or 10 minutes of social media engagement in interaction time. That's one thing to do. Another thing is, when you first get started, you're going to have few people that you have a lot of conversations with. Those tend to be the people that you'll build the best relationships with long term. But you don't want to swamp them. You don't want to. You also don't want to necessarily seem to be too accessible, because then people think that they can get you at any point, at any time, and in the middle of the night, and you're checking your phone. It's like, oh no, I need to reply to these people, and I know you're not like that, but that can happen sometimes. Like 9 o'clock at night, watching the TV, relaxing, whatever, and phone comes out, somebody's replying, asking you a question, and you feel compelled to answer it. So people then start to potentially think that you're not very busy, that you don't really have much on, that you're not that of an attractive personality, essentially. So what you then can do is future pace, think about the future, think what would happen if I'd got a community with several thousand people in it. Every post I posted had 30 to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 comments on it. Could I have a personal conversation with every person? And the answer is no, you couldn't. It's not possible. So then it becomes one message to many people. So basically you respond to, as most of the people ideally are going to have the same ideas, the same questions, the same problems, the same challenges, and kind of roll it up into one thing. So your dialogue with them is your 1 or 2 posts a day that goes out to everybody, but you're answering 1 or 2 questions based on what people had asked or conversations. So yeah, and at that point people go, well, they don't expect responses because you're busy. I cannot respond to every comment in every group and every fan page. It's just not possible, and I don't try to either. And people still comment, the same people still comment. So yeah, so don't. I don't know if that answered your You didn't answer it
Yeah, that's
specifically, but it gave you a
actually
few ideas.
no, that's actually really good. So, for instance, on the 11th, on Saturday, a week from this coming Saturday, I'm going to post a video, and I will probably get responses. I may or may not, but I'm just saying in the past I have gotten responses, especially the first couple of weeks. So I guess what you're saying is, as people make with comments, I can sort of put a post in there myself under the video, responding to them, or saying something like, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it, because I know I'm going to run short on time again, and this next series of videos, I won't be able to repeat them because it's a program. So,
well, I'll tell you one thing you can do. If it's the same people commenting all the time, you don't need to comment. You don't need to reply to those people very often, like once every 3 or 4 days. But if it's a brand new person, I would reply to those people and have a conversation with those, and just see if you can keep track. Because ultimately, the people that already comment, the people that engage, tend to be closer in the circle of in the sphere of influence anyway, and they know you, they like you, and they trust you already. Therefore, they're going to follow you no matter what. So if you don't reply to their comments, they're still going to follow you. The new people are the ones that you want to kind of bring in as quickly as possible and bring them into the sphere of influence.
Oh, I think you just really gave me a great, that's just solved my problem. Then when I was answering, I can actually respond to my own post inside of my own post, and also then comment to people. You say new people, sort of make it a little bit more personal. Okay, that's really great. That helps me a lot, because I've just been swamping myself with trying to figure out how to resolve that. And the other thing I wanted to ask you was, oh my God, I think it escaped my mind. But I think basically in you answering that, it helped me to still move further on. If I think of the next thing, I'll raise my hand if we have enough time.
Okay.
I can't remember what the next thing was that I was going to ask.
It'll come back to you in 2 seconds. I'll do a wrap up now, and as soon as it comes back, just interject. If it doesn't, post in the group, and I'll respond to you quickly.
All right. Thank you.
Cool. Good stuff. All right. Well, some great results, some great feedback. Anybody else got anything you wanted to add, or everything good just before we wrap up? Anyone other questions? All happy? Cool. It's just taking action really on what we've talked about. We've actually talked about a lot of stuff on this call, some really good stuff, and you're all moving forward at great paces, getting ready to monetize. I mean, Neil and Lynn, I think you've both got access to the original 6 Steps course. I think, if I know correctly, you could go, if you wanted to find out more about the monetization early on, you could jump to module 6, which is the closing section, which will talk a little bit more. Yeah, Marilyn has as well. Okay, cool. If you wanted to do that, it's entirely up to you. And yeah, just build the community, build the relationships, have conversations with people, and just plant the seeds in your mind about monetizing. And yeah, just know that there's many different ways you can monetize with coaching. You can monetize with an opportunity. You can monetize with an affiliate product. You can create your own products. There's probably 4 or 5 different ways to monetize in the group. But it's just figuring out where people are at and what they're looking for. And did your question come back, Sonia? Or?
No, but I think I have enough to move forward right now. Okay. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, if you do, post it in the group. And I will see you all next week. Do your best to get through this week's training. Any questions, let me know in the group. And on the blog, I'll be creating 5 or 10 posts about content creation over the next 10 days. So if you want to get some ideas, feel free to go over there as well. And just know in your mind, if you can get to ambassador within the next 3 or 4 weeks, then you can take part in the launch that we're going to do. So just get 100 members in your community, get 1 post that's got at least 10 comments from other people, and we'll give you the title of ambassador, and then you can promote the products as well, which would be cool. All right. See you soon. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye.